Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Sance. I've been producing since 2001. I mean, really since 1999. I started on the MTV Music Generator on the PS1. But as far as computer software, I really got my start in Cakewalk in 2001, my first year in college when I was at SCAD. I've always had a passion, as long as I can remember though, for just music, you know. I used to be in my parents' bedroom basically, you know, just they had the vinyl player, the vinyl record player. I would be dancing to Michael Jackson, like, you know, when I was like 6 years old. But I knew I had a gift for music specifically when in 1991, I could think of anybody's name and I felt like a melody played that would suit a person's personality in my class. My brother, he was in radio promotions in the music industry for a lot of years. So when I was growing up, he would have like DJ equipment in my room. He had the ASR 10 keyboard at the time. This is 1991. I'm not knowing what what it is, you know. I just saw his floppy disk and I was like, damn man, that's I did briefly play around with his MPC 3000 back in like summer of 2000, you know. But I pretty much springboarded from Cakewalk all the way to Sonar. Still in 2001, I went to FL Studio in late 2001 when it was called Fruity Loops 3.0 or something like that. And then I pretty much got into Reason in 2002. And then I jumped briefly into Cubase VST 32 back in 2003 at this point. So I pretty much kept bouncing around between FL, Reason. I briefly messed with Logic back when it was owned by eMagic in 2003 also. You know, so pretty much on my college campus, I was like one of the only dudes who actually had his own, I guess you could say, PC studio on campus at the time, because back, you know, the early 2000s, I felt like based on what I saw, it was very rare that you would actually have a PC setup. Anyway, so I've been producing, you know, like I said, since then. Still trying to crack into the music industry. So fast forward to January 2023 this year, I'm scrolling YouTube, you know, I see this thumbnail and I don't know, something about it just stands out. You know, I check it out basically and it was Dame Taylor. I think he had actually had a YouTube live stream with Busyworks Beats, who I'm sure a lot of us who kind of first jumped on YouTube, let's say 2005, etc. Yeah, so we back in session. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay down that first bar of the loop and get it going. Yeah. Now I ain't the best keyboard player in the world, but I'm gonna try to lay down in parts. So when I say lay down in parts, I mean I'm gonna lay down the first part of the melody in one bar, and I'm gonna lay down the next part of the melody in the other bar. So when it comes together, it sounds like it's seamless. And get something going. Now I messed up. That's cool.
Incredible, baby. Y'all not witness something crazy. Sance.
Busyworks Beats might have been one of the first popular YouTubers of substantial influence early on. From my understanding, Dame Taylor has videos going way back, you know, I think even before 2013. I've actually been, my first video on YouTube was in 2013, but...
Quick, let's get some footage of me. Yeah, man, last session, you know what I mean? A lot of setbacks, but we gotta get shit done. Either way, do it that today. Right now, they're zoning out to the store. Some of my favorite tracks on there. I haven't even heard the mix a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Shout out to the studio real quick. Shout out to Penny.
You know, I, like I said, got on the YouTube space around like 05 really, you know. This was around the time of Facebook when you had to have a college email to get on. So yeah, I don't know, something about Dame Taylor's approach to both conversation and viewer engagement just struck me as more authentic than some of the other YouTubers that I had experience in just checking out their vids for. Me personally, as far as engagement and interaction, I definitely felt like this is the most interaction that I've ever had in the YouTube space with another music producer. Somebody who actually had reputable experience in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like he brought a certain regal authority with how he treated the value of music within the YouTube community space, in the terms of this isn't something to be messed around and toyed with if you are not just a hobbyist. You know what I'm saying? If you're a hobbyist, cool. I think the thing that he brought to light also was a lot of YouTubers who might have been just leading the viewership of up-and-coming producers within the YouTube community astray with the sense, they're flooding them with these tutorials, etc. But in reality, a lot of us don't learn that way. A lot of us need to get that real hands-on experience. So he has something called Monster Sessions, which was actually an in-person class, but he also offered a lot of virtual services. One of the services that I had experience with initially earlier this year was the Westside Gunn Serato Sample sessions. Serato Sample was a game changer as somebody who already had experience working with chops. There were certain things that Dame brought to light in his videos, especially within those Serato Sample sessions, faster in terms of the workflow, getting into specifics and semantics like bar counts, tempo modifications, etc. Personally speaking, chopping samples is nothing new to me, but it was refreshing, like I said, just to get another perspective on how he approached. So yeah, like I said, above all else, I think he just brings clarity and inspiration and focus into the YouTube community space, because he's not afraid to welcome you up on his live streams to actually introduce yourself first as a man or as a woman before getting into the semantics of music. I think it's important because I feel like we need to establish those relationships first as people before we even get to the music, right? Because what good is the creative side if the personal side, in terms of how we connect with each other, is not right? I think that's also something that I feel like he definitely brings to the space. Like I said, I don't do too many of these YouTube videos, I do plan to in the future, but I can definitely vouch for how he approaches the integrity of the space, and I feel like he's definitely bringing more of that into the YouTube community space as well. And like I said, he's not after the money, you know what I'm saying? He's not after the gimmicks, he's strictly just trying to bring that passion back, actually bringing that human side back, Something he always says is human game, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you honestly, I've been on YouTube all these years, and he was the first one to actually highly recommend a lot of folks put up an actual picture of themselves and not remain anonymous, because it's so easy to make these anonymous comments, make these anonymous actions, etc. But really, you don't put your stamp or identity to that, So by you actually attaching your name to your image, you actually have to be who you say you are, He has something called Emily. I think one of the cool things too, like I said, is he has music live streams as well as A&R reviews, in which you can actually submit your music and get it reviewed, not just by him, but by the larger human game community as well, to get another perspective on your production choices, your mixing, your mastering. And I think also personally, I want to say he's had a lot of adversity with, let's say, older producers that kind of come off as haters. I'm certainly not that, I've always been trying to be relatively transparent, with my intentions. I don't have it all figured out, but I continue to work, and I'm passionate for it. Like I said, there's not a day that goes by that I don't make some kind of music or practice on some kind of mixing or mastering or whatever, I know as I aged up a little bit into my music journey, me and my production partner in California, actually, who's in LA, ironically, which is not too far from Dame's location, we got into producing like movie trailer scores and that kind of thing also, which challenges me on a crazy level, which is cool because like I said, I always grew up, being a fan of movies. But so yeah, once again, I just want to give a shout out to Dame Taylor. I'll link somewhere in the video, y'all check him out. And bigger and better things, coming for real. So giving a listener, giving a viewer, like, I guess a walk into my head. What I hear now is I hear like this timpani, this kind of like loud drum or some kind of movie film score type effect in the beat at this point. And once we get that down, we'll check to see if there's any other gaps in the beat maybe that need to be filled in. Then after that, it's on to structuring the beat, which is probably later Normally when I structure my beats, I try to structure them around the artist. So I'm getting to that. So there's one more thing before I find that percussion effect, and I'm gonna look for this kind of like this synth that